Hi there, my name's Darrell, it's great to see you and welcome to Old Man Cycling. Before we get into the ride today, I do want to say thank you to everybody that's left a comment wishing me well on my recovery from my accident and just leaving me positive comments about being glad to see me back on my bike. It's been really great to read them all and I do appreciate everybody that's taken the time to comment. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to try and extend the distance that I've done over my last couple of rides, because so far I've just done some gentle 15-mile rides. So I'm going to try and get over 20 today. I've programmed a route into the Wahoo that is about 23 miles. And so we're just going to take it easy again, because my knee still does hurt slightly from the accident that I had 4 months ago. But I'm pretty sure that 22 miles is going to be very achievable with the assist on from the motor on the e-bike. Now, because I've had an extended period away from the channel, I might have some new viewers who are not familiar with the bike that I ride. So I'm going to give you a quick overview now. So this is my bike. It's the Orbea D30-1X. It's an e-bike and it's a gravel bike. I bought this bike basically because I have trouble with my knees. I'm getting a little bit older and it's just going to help me get back out cycling because it's got the motor assistance. Now, the main differences between this and a normal road bike are, firstly, we've only got one chainring here on the front set. It just makes everything so much simpler, and you can still get up hills because we've got a great big gear here on the back set. Now, the other thing is we've got slightly different tires. They are not slick like you would normally get on a road tire. They've got a little bit of extra grip if you're going on a trail. Then we've got the Shimano GRX group set, which is specifically designed for gravel bikes. Now, I've made a few little additions myself. I've got the Wahoo trip computer, and I've also got this little tube effect here that is used to hold my GoPro while I'm filming and riding at the same time. Obviously, the biggest difference to notice is the addition of the motor and the battery. Now, the battery is stored in this thick down tube just here, and we plug it in just there, and then at the back, on the back wheel, is a bigger hub, and all of the mechanics of the motor are concealed within there. So it's still fairly low key, and it's all controlled from this button just here. So we turn the bike on by a quick press, and that goes green to say that now the assistance is now activated. We've got the Orbea trip computer here, so we can use this to change the level of assistance, and you can also do that by pressing this button here, but I just find it a lot easier to press the up and down buttons to just change the level. And then on the Wahoo, we can also see the current battery level. That's a quick overview of my bike. If you do have any questions, you can always let me know down below in the comments. I'm really happy to answer anything about how the bike performs, but I'll talk a little bit more about it on the ride, so let's get going. Now, in my last video, I did talk about my accident that I had when I was hit by a car about 4 months ago. So I'm not going to spend lots of time talking about it in this video. If you are interested, I'll put a link up above in the card and down below in the description, so you can go and check that out afterwards. But basically, the whole point now of my riding is to get back my fitness. I need to lose a good half a stone of weight that I've put on since being inactive, and I also need to get back some confidence as well, because it has affected me mentally. Now, I've had lots of people share their stories in the comments as well, and it just shows that I came off really lucky. I didn't have massive injuries. Yes, my knee still hurts, but some people have sent me messages saying that they've had pins put in them, broken bones and all kinds of things much I'm than I suffered, and so I did get off very lightly, but it still did affect me. I'm just trying to get back my confidence and get back out, and I think now that I've made the first move, Today has felt so much easier. I've not felt anywhere near as apprehensive about getting out on the bike today. Now, lots of people watch my videos because they're thinking of getting an e-bike, and I can't actually recommend it highly enough. It's completely changed my view towards cycling. Before I got it, I was having trouble with my knees. Even going up and down stairs was really painful. And having the motor assistance really does help. And especially now, after I've damaged my knee in an accident, just getting out on the bike again has proved really difficult because I've had to get my knee into the condition where I can actually turn the pedals. But the motor assistance has such a benefit, especially when climbing hills or pulling away from junctions. Now, what a lot of people wrongly assume is that the motor is on all the time. Now, the motor only works while you are pedaling, and it is literally there to give you an assistance. You can't stop pedaling and it will push you up a hill. That's not what it's for. There are different levels of assistance that the motor will give, from a small amount of assistance to a large amount of assistance. And today, because I'm trying to improve my fitness, I'm using the middle level of assistance. And so it's only active while I'm pedaling, and it only stays active up to a speed of 15 miles per hour. So in the UK, e-bikes are limited to 15 miles per hour. And so after you reach that speed, the motor cuts out and then you're under your own power. And you can feel the difference when the motor does cut out. But at that speed, you're pretty much on top of the gears anyway, and so it's not too much of a problem. But then if you drop down below 15 miles an hour again, the motor comes back in to give you a little bit more assistance again. One question that I have been asked is, can you feel the extra weight of the e-bike? Now, I have had some comments as well saying, yes, you can definitely feel it if you're doing a big climb. But in general, you don't tend to notice it, especially if you've got the motor on and a little bit of assistance. It just feels like a normal bike when you're on the flat. And yes, possibly if you're an elite cyclist and want to do lots of hill climbs, then you'll definitely notice a difference in weight. But I have done some pretty serious hill climbs, and I'll put a link for those down in the description. There was one particular one that's known locally as a killer mile, and with the assistance on, I pretty much managed to get nearly to the top. It's just the very last stretch is a 1 in 4, and I couldn't quite make it. I hadn't quite got my fitness levels up high enough at that point, but the weight didn't really bother me, and with the motor on, it's not a problem. Luckily today isn't a really long ride because I forgot to put my water bottle on the bike. I thought about everything else, but forgot the water bottle. Now, because it's a cool day and I'm only doing just over 20 miles, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But while I'm talking to the camera, it's nice to have a little bit of a drink in between to wet the old whistle. Now, I've seen some debates and people discussing whether e-biking is cheating, and I think this is an absolutely ridiculous thing to be talking about, because at the end of the day, an e-bike is a tool to allow people to enjoy cycling, and it's not something that you can hide. You wouldn't get away with riding an e-bike in a competition because it's fairly obvious that it's an e-bike. And so for me, it's helping me enjoy my cycling and get back out on the road again, despite having some issues physically, and it just makes the whole thing much more enjoyable. When you go out on a normal bike and you've got a big hill climb, yes, it can be a challenge, and there's a sense of achievement when you get to the top, but it's a lot of pain in between, and the motor assistance just takes all that away, and it gives you so much more freedom. There's not a chance that I'd be able to contemplate doing this ride that I'm doing today on my normal road bike, because I would just feel too apprehensive about whether my knees would stand up to the punishment that they'd get. I wouldn't want to be 10-20 miles from home and feel that I wasn't physically able to get back again. As it stands now, I'm getting on for 10 miles into the ride, and I've not felt any twinges at all from my knee at all. Yes, I've not been pushing it very hard, and the motor has been on for the entire time. So anytime I've come to a junction or a hill, the motor has helped me to get up it. So I've not put any massive pressure through my knees, but it's not something equally that I've given any great thought to, because the bike is doing some of the work for me. Yes, I'm still getting a workout. I've still got a slight bit of sweat appearing, so it's not that I'm not actually doing any work. So I'm still improving my fitness, yes, albeit to really get a fitness boost you've got to really work quite hard, but equally it's better than sitting on the couch or just playing video games. Just at the moment I'm on quite an incline, but because of the speed that I'm doing and the gear that I'm in, I'm actually doing 19 miles an hour uphill, so the motor is not helping me at all. Now I suspect I might have a bit of wind assistance, maybe that's what's helping me get up this hill, but it's actually pretty easy going, so I'm really pleased with this. It's good progress. So I've just come over the brow of the hill, and I did manage to sustain that speed all the way up. No issues at all with my knees, and I did actually feel a little bit of burn in my thighs as well. So this is all good news. It's just given me that extra bit of confidence that I can get back out and push myself a little bit harder in future rides. One thing that is great about cycling is just how friendly other cyclists are. It's very rare that you'll go past another cyclist where they won't raise a hand just in acknowledgement, just to say hello as a fellow cyclist. And the other day when I had a loose spoke, I was just having a look at the side of the road, and another cyclist came past and asked if I was okay. And it's that kind of camaraderie that's really great. See if this one waves. Yep, there you go. See, there's another wave. Now I'm back home and I'm considering today's ride a real success. I've used 50% of the battery, but that's what it's there for. I have lent on it quite heavily, but that's the beauty of an e-bike. It just takes the strain for you. And I've not had any problems with my knees because of it, and that is the main point. I've felt like I've been on top of my fitness. I've not felt like I've hit the wall at all. So that means that in future I could push the ride a little bit longer, which is great news. Also, I've felt less anxious and felt more confident about being on the road. So all in all, everything is positive from this ride. The only downside is I forgot my water bottle, so I can't wait to get inside and put the kettle on. But if you have enjoyed this video, do let me know down below in the comments, or you can nip over to my Facebook account and leave me a comment there as well. Now, you can do me a really big favor by clicking like, subscribe and the bell notification, because that way my channel continues to grow and I can make more cycling content like you've seen today. Watch out for next time's video, that's going to be going up very soon. But in the meantime, it's been great to OMC you. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Because where I live, whoa, that was bumpy. This road's very bumpy. Oh bollocks, I'll have to do that again. I've cut my head off.